Okay, we need to draw our drawing in first angle projection. Now just begin by drawing the construction line. Let's mark this as our center point. Let's measure an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, then we may measure the distance of 5 millimeters each side. Okay, we may draw faint lines. Okay, now in first angle projection we say that always the top view is drawn down, either at this point or at this point, but our side view we have been given the left hand side view. So this means in first angle projection we will draw it at the right side. This means we will be at this side here. This means that our top view will be at this point. Now let's begin drawing our top view. Okay, now I am at the top. Now what I will see, first of all I will see the distance of 80 millimeters from this point to this point. So I'll see the distance of 8 millimeters, which is 0.8 centimeters. Then I will see the distance of 38 millimeters from here to here. To 3.8. Okay, now I may draw this line as a faint line. Okay, my point here is a faint. Okay, now I will see this part here. Okay, I may bold it. Okay, now I will see the distance from this point to this point, which is 20. 20 is the distance from this part here to this point, which has include the distance of 8 millimeters. So the distance of this point to this point, it will be 12 millimeters. So I'll see the distance of 12 millimeters from this point coming here, where from here to my 12 millimeters it will make a distance of 20 millimeters. So 1.2 millimeters. Okay, then after we'll see the distance of from this point here to here, which is 8 millimeters. Okay, now from here I'll measure 8 millimeters. There. Okay, from that point. Okay, now I've been given the distance from here to this line here. It is 18 millimeters. From this point here coming to this side, 18 millimeters. 1.8 millimeters. Now I may draw faint lines. Okay, now in order to, when I am at the top, I will see the semicircle here and this box, this cycle here inside. Now in order to get my center point, I will measure the distance of, I've been given the distance of this, the small cycle inside here has a diameter of 20 millimeters. Okay, so 20 millimeters diameter, this means that it has a radius of 10 millimeters. Okay, but I know that the distance from here to here, it is 38, I mean, yes, 38. Okay, okay, 38. Now this means that the half of 38, it will be 19 millimeters. So I'll measure 19, then I will get my center point. So 1.9 1.9 that will be my center point. Okay, so I may draw the big semicircle. Which means it will come to connect to this point here and this point, at this point and at this point here. Okay, then I will see the small cycle with the radius of 10 millimeters. So I will measure 10 millimeters. Okay, then after, now I will see my distances. Okay, then when I am at the top, I will see the flat bar here, which has the distance. In order to draw this cycle, the big cycle has the distance, the diameter of 28. This means that it will be the distance from here to here. Okay, this means 28, it will be the radius of 14. So I'll find my center point here, then I will measure the distance, the radius, the distance of 14 each side at left and right, and the small cycle also I will do the same. Okay, so I'll measure the distance of 14 each side. So 1.4 and 1.4. Now it has come outside here for the distance of 17 millimeters. So I'll measure 17 from this point coming this side. So 1.7 this side. So I need to draw a line here. Okay, so when I'm at the top, I will see this part. Okay, but the small cycle inside here, which has the diameter of 20 millimeters, this I will not see it. Now I will indicate by dotted lines. So I will measure the distance, the radius of 10 millimeters each side. 10. So I will indicate the dotted lines. Okay, now that will be my top view. Okay, now let's come to draw the front view up here. Now the front view, in order to draw it easily, I need to shift my all dimensions coming up here. So I'll use the faint line . Okay, now when I am at the front side here, what I will see the distance, this distance, which is 8 millimeters. Now we'll measure the distance of 8 millimeters here, which is 0.8 centimeters. Yeah, okay. Then I will see the distance of 18 millimeters, which is 1.8. Okay. Then a distance of 1.8 millimeters. Yeah. Okay. Then the length, now the length of this figure, it's 68 from down to up. Now from this point here coming upward, I will measure the distance of 68, which is 6.8 centimeters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.8. Okay, now I may draw first my lines. Okay, so I may bold this part. Okay, then I will see the cycles here at this point here. Okay, okay. Now in order to get my center point at this point here, okay, we know that the dimensions of getting our cycles are at this point and this point. Then we know that this distance is 8 millimeters, and this one from here to here is 1.8 millimeters, I mean centimeters. Okay, okay. Now we need to find the center point of drawing our cycles. Now we have been given the distance here of 42 millimeters from this point here. We need to measure this distance in order to get our center point. Now this distance, we measure it from this point here. So we measure 4.2, 1, 2, 3, 4.2 4.2. Okay. Now at this point we need to draw the horizontal line in order to get our center point of drawing the cycles. Okay, now our center point will be at this side, so we will first see the small cycle and the big cycle. Now already our dimensions, we have them at this side here, so what we will do, okay, so for the visible regions are what we will see, but for the hidden features we will not see this cycle here with the distance, this one here, so we will indicate the dotted lines. Okay, now that will be our front view. Let's come now to draw our side view. Given this side, it will be our side view. Now our side view, will draw it at this point. In order to draw it easily, we need to shift all dimensions from the front view coming this side and from the top view coming upward here. So at this point we need to measure the angle of 45. So we measure an angle of 45. Okay. Okay. Now make sure your lines are parallel to each other in order to get the accurate dimensions. Okay, make sure you shift all dimensions to that side. Also at this side we shift all dimensions. This will help us to draw our side view easily. Okay, now okay, now here we may begin drawing our side view. Now we will see the distance from here to the end point here of our drawing. Now that distance is from this point here to the end point here, which the dimension we already have it at this point, so it is here to here. Then we will see the length at this point to this point, which is 68. Already we have it from the front view here, so it will be at this distance. Then we will have the distance of 8 millimeters, which is this one, 8 millimeters, this one. So this distance, it will come to this point here, at this point. Then from here to here, which is from here to this point here. Okay, so we will see the 68, then 8 millimeters, 8. Then we will see this point, this line coming to this side. Then we will see this distance. Then we will see this distance of 1.8 centimeters, this one, from here to here. Then after we will see this distance. Now I may begin drawing my lines. So I will see that distance, then I will see the height, then I will see this distance of 0.8. Okay, then I will see this line coming to this side here. Okay, then I will see this line. Okay, then I will see this line coming here, the distance from here to here. Then I will see the distance of 0.8, this one, from this here to here, which is from here to here. Okay, then I will see this line. Then I'll see this distance here. So that one. Then now I will see this part here, this one, the distance from here to here, the distance of 28. Now I have already have it at the front view, this distance from here to here, but it has come outside to the distance of 1.7 centimeters. But this distance I have it at this point here, this one coming to here. So I will see this distance moving from here to this point. Okay, so I'll see this distance. Okay, so for the features which I will see are those, but there is hidden features. The small circle here of diameter of 20 millimeters, this one already, so I'll draw the dotted lines. Okay, also the small circle here, which is this one here, also I draw the dotted lines. Okay, now that is my drawing.